Smooth, very peachy.
Is the mic on now? Sorry about that. Looks like the
no.
mic was off. Looks like it's on now, so we're good.
The problems of live feed.
We're drinking peach tequila for this one. We've got two others, an almond and a coffee one. What'd you think of the peach?
I'm really enjoying this. It's both very peachy and also very smooth.
Yeah, there's not really that tequila burn that you would expect.
I don't taste. If you didn't tell me there was tequila in it, I could think this was peach juice pretty easily.
I don't know about peach juice. There's some form of kick to it.
Okay,
sure.
some peach flavored something. I mean, yeah, there's definitely something going on, but I would not guess that it's like 18%.
18% is pretty good for that.
Yes.
It's not like overtly sweet either. It's kind of like
That's
a dull.
True. It's just like a nice peach. Yeah, because peach can get really sweet easily.
Okay.
You could see this on a beach.
I like the peach one.
Mm-hmm.
Where we going next? You got the almond open over there?
Yeah, the almond's open.
Let me pour that.
I'm a big fan of some nutty stuff. Get it off. My hands are all wet now.
Yeah, that's one of the secrets of the hot tub you learn is never put your hands in the water. Because then they get all clammy and wrinkly.
Yeah. I should have learned.
This is the unfortunate part of like being authentic and not opening these beforehand, having them sealed, is we have to open them live.
They're not easy to open. Even with your not wet, clammy hand.
Well, you know, I am a professional, but even still. All right, what are we expecting from this almond one?
Ooh. Well, I really like nutty liqueur, so I'm hoping it's nice and nutty. And I mean, if it's anything like that peach, it will hide the liquor very well.
Salud.
Salud. Did not disappoint.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
really good.
18% for that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so smooth.
I'm trying to think of like how to describe it, because it's not, you know, some nutty liqueurs you just taste one nut flavor and that's it. This has quite a bit of a profile to the taste.
It's got an opening kind of smoothness and then a richness towards the end.
Yeah, I'm definitely tasting that richness, and it's like almost cinnamony, maybe.
In the ballpark of cinnamon, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. It's really good.
It's like it's nutty but spicy.
Yes.
Somewhere
tastes
in that
like Christmas.
I can see it.
It is really good.
Like a more intense sort of volume shot of it. Holds up. Holds up very well.
I agree.
The roller coaster of the flavor profile gets a little bit more diluted because you're drinking so much of it, it's hard to sort of distinguish it. But it still comes in like smooth at the beginning, just the richness gets there quicker.
Yeah, the rich is...
The lingers, there's no burn in the throat.
No,
it's a high quality product.
Feel it a little on my tongue, but I think it's almost more of the cinnamon spicy.
Yeah, that's what I think it's like the tip of your tongue, right? You still get that tingle, but it's not in the throat.
No, not
That's
at all.
always the problem with like a cheap tequila, is like having it stuck there. So avoids that well.
Yeah.
We got one more.
Good stuff. Your parents know what they're looking for.
I mean, they got this on a cruise. It was like one of the things you can do when you get off the cruise. I think this was in Ensenada, so that makes sense. They know what they're doing.
Nice.
They're getting the tourists, and that's my parents. So. All right, we got a coffee one.
Alrighty.
Are you much of a coffee drinker?
I am not.
Me
Although
neither.
I do like coffee flavored things, like coffee flavored beer. I do surprisingly like.
Yeah, it's like I like the smell of coffee a lot. I've just never really liked the taste.
No.
So I've only actually really had coffee. I tried like a Starbucks here when I was like 12, and I was like, this isn't for me. And then when I was in Paris, I had to have an espresso.
You have to have one in Europe, yeah.
And
I've
it's like,
definitely had, I've also had espresso, and it's better. I mean, it's a nice little kick, wake you up, whatever.
Well, I would just leave it there and smell it the whole time, and then when the meal was over, I would just down the shot and be like, okay, let's go. I'm ready to walk around the city.
There you go.
So we'll see how this sort of counteracts each other. It's kind of like a Red Bull vodka situation, so we'll see.
Yeah. Not bad.
It's coffee for sure.
It's definitely very coffee.
Very coffee.
It's almost too coffee for me,
Oh, it's
as
too coffee
the non-coffee aficionado.
Now, however, much like the peach and the almond ones, I feel like if you like coffee, this is.
If you like coffee, this will be like just.
This just tastes like coffee.
This will just taste like coffee.
It's not even like a coffee stout because there's not that thickness to it.
No, it's not thick at all.
It's just sort of clean.
So maybe if you're an espresso fan, you won't like it either. You need to go the Americano route, the watered down.
Yeah, maybe like
coffee.
add some milk and cream to this. I don't know how people drink their coffee. There's more to say about it.
Yeah,
It's
it just
coffee.
tastes like coffee. And again, I'm very surprised that this is at 18% because it does not taste that.
So yeah, again, for context, right? 18% means if you do like 2 shots, you've had 1 drink. Versus like a beer is somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 shots for 1 drink, and a wine is like 3.
Okay.
So you're effectively getting about a little bit more drunk per drink of this than you would of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't taste like alcohol. So it's a pretty good deal. Again, no idea what the price is, so maybe it's not a good deal. But
for us, it's a great deal.
For free, it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, for free it would always be good, but for how good it tastes, it's
Thank you to Link's parents.
Salud.
Salud.
Alright, you had mentioned a different almond or nut-based liqueur you were going to mention?
It's a nut-based liqueur. It's called Amarula.
Not amaretto.
No, it's not amaretto. Although there are some similarities. Again, it's a nutty liqueur kind of thing, and it's from Southern Africa.
Southern Africa?
Yeah.
Not South Africa.
Well, so the company is based in South Africa, but the nut and the fruit and the tree are mostly in Namibia, which has a soft spot in my heart. Because in 6th grade, everyone had to do a country report, and most people chose, Mexico or maybe China or something. And I was a smart aleck who had to choose Namibia because I wanted to
threw a dart at the board.
Yeah, I mean, I did know it was like a friend of a friend who had told me that Namibia was really cool. He had been down there fighting apartheid because it was part of South Africa at the time.
Right.
So he told me, oh yeah, this place is awesome, and it has so much like natural wonders. It's a desert country.
Got it.
So second least sparsely populated country in the world.
Interesting.
After Mongolia, but fascinating things.
But they have nuts.
They have nuts, and these nuts are
amazing. Does make sense for a desert country, yeah. Yeah,
it's a good. I mean, you think of like almonds and stuff.
Yeah.
They often grow in desert climates, and this
California.
nut. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of like, honestly, not so much California, but even more like Arizona. Like driving around, I was like, this could be in. They didn't have as much red rocks, but the formation of just like you're on the desert, like not necessarily a playa, but desert plain, and then there's just like mountains, just random places around, old seabed. Definitely had that feeling to it. It was really cool.
Is there any way to like pick that up here? Or?
I was looking into it. I couldn't find any, but if I can find it, or if you can find it, I'll pay you back and I will treat you to that because that would be a lot of fun.
What has happened to me more recently is I'll just bring up things like this and then people are like, dude, I'm going there, I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
So I haven't really had to follow through on that.
And if I was going back to Namibia, I would totally do it. I love to travel. Namibia is definitely on the repeat country list.
Sure.
I haven't traveled much since COVID, so.
Because I've had, I think I've had liquors brought back to me from now, if you count, this is Mexico, so that's North America. I've had South America, I've had Europe, I've had Asia, I've not had Africa, and I want to get some Antarctic.
Ooh, I don't know anything. I've never been to Antarctica. I don't know anything about. Maybe the scientists at the South Pole are like brewing some really hairy shit.
Maybe there's something that like only grows in ice or something. I don't know.
Penguin shit.
There has to be some unique.
There has to be, yeah. Because all the tourists who go to Antarctica have to be able to bring something back to their friends.
What, do tourists even get to go? I thought it's like all students.
And no, there are tourists who go. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how far they get other than just like onto the continent enough to say they've been there.
Sure.
And certainly I've heard people argue back that, maybe we shouldn't be going to Antarctica because we are kind of affecting the penguins and the ice and all of the natural beauty that is there.
Yeah.
But
But at
it's
the same
definitely
time,
also on my list of like, again, I have, the continents, you list them out. Antarctica is a continent. If I want to go to all of the continents, I have to get there at some point, so.
Probably sooner rather than later, honestly.
Probably. that is definitely true. But I'm not a big cold person, and I'm not a big boat person. So between the two of those, it hasn't really been high on my list.
Maybe you could get a helicopter over or something.
No. In order for it to count for myself, I have to land.
Boots on the ground.
I have to boots on the ground, and it has to be like outside of any. I mean, I don't know if they have airports or just
it's the layover conundrum.
Yeah,
right? Can
layovers
you say you've
do
been
not
to this
count
state
for
if
me.
you've only?
They do not count for me.
You gotta leave the airport.
Yes, you have to have a stamp in your passport if it's applicable. Antarctica.
They don't do those anymore, man. What's
they
the
don't
deal
really
with that?
do. In Europe, they don't bother, country to country.
I've asked, and they're like, "Oh, we don't even have them anymore."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, how do you say
how do
somebody
you prove
going?
you've been there?"
Japan always gives you the visa. That's great, but yeah. Wanted to get stamps, and then I just started collecting shot glasses instead. So
yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea. I have little figurines that I collect.
You gotta have some kind of souvenir,
a little memento to remember your time, your fun time traveling around.
Yeah. Well, Donna and Gracia, very good. Thanks, Mom and Dad. It was delicious.
Gracias.
Well, there should be a bar in Antarctica so the hardcore. Well, they have to have a hot tub.
I'm sure they have a hot tub.
At the Antarctic bar.
There's no way that they don't have a hot tub.
If they don't, you got all these smart people and they didn't think to build a hot tub there? Come on now.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it.
So, is Chugging and Chugging going to go down to the hot
Chugging
tub
and Chugging
in
on
Antarctica?
location in Antarctica. I have 2 people I might know that might be able to get me in. I know some astrophysics guys who at least the professor that we studied under, he had been there, so he might have a connection.
Some leads for you.
Yeah. We got to get this channel up to, I think, at least Mr. Beast levels before that happens, though. So
all right.
maybe in the future. We're working on it.
Yeah.
As always, let me know if there are alcohols you want me to review. Send them to me somehow. I don't know. Maybe. Figure that out. Julie, thanks for joining me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
And please, drink responsibly. How do I end the stream? I usually it's easier for me to edit.
Yeah,
this
I'm not used. I've never done live streams, let alone.
Boy. Now, see, I followed the cardinal sin. I got my hand wet.
Now no! Don't get the electronics wet.
All right. What if this works? Does this work? No. We might just be here a little bit. I don't know.
We can just chill. I can talk more about Namibia. I like that place a lot.
Then go for it.
Yeah, so I went up to Etosha Pan, or Tasha, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but they had lots of wildlife, like all the elephants and rhinos and giraffes and all your stereotypical, African animals to go and see. That was quite delightful. Are we still on?
We're still on.
We're still on. Okay, what else do I get to talk about? It's just a really fascinating country. I mean, to be so sparsely populated, but then the people who do survive. Oh, it's